Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my Commonwealth of Man playthrough. We are struggling right now with recovering from the rebellions in both Ubaria and Molino. The problem with the AI trying to manage cities or colonies that I have not properly handled. As you see, we never had a problem over here with Corinth, but these, because I didn't pick a species that was primary, they never decided to release any slaves. So they ended up not having the population they needed to maintain stability. And we're having to go through and maintain the empire for them, basically, and get this in a good situation where we can spin it off as a vassal again.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
Where? Let me check my science ship that's over here roving. No, it hasn't spotted any. As a matter of fact, it's stationary. Let's go ahead and survey Iskander's Pride. Belvaris Maelstrom appears to be unclaimed. I guess after we finish that survey, we should head over this way, so we can get sight on this area. We'll be able to jump past this empire to get these last few areas we haven't seen over here. And that looks like it'll pretty much be it. Well, there are a few systems back over this way we can check out. We sold another Ichnerval. I think in April I'm actually going to check...
New species variant available.
Alright, the human species has been modified. Let's see. Our transport fleet in the TRAPPIST system has gone missing in action because they apparently have rebelled against the Great Human Empire. Why are we not currently at war? Let's move over here. Actually, we do have stealth. We'll just move straight there. We sold another Ichnerval.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We have Marauder missiles. These highly advanced missiles are equipped with limited onboard AI pilots that substantially improve their performance and ability to track targets. Now that's pretty much all of the saved ones we want. Let's go ahead and get autonomous mining drones. It's one of the cheaper ones. It'll only take about 9 months. We'll have the Science Nexus next month and can start building one of those. So is there not currently war? You guys just... Where the hell did you come from? You guys just took over the system? We sold 2 more Ichnerval, and the Soran have constructed yet another gateway. Let's go ahead and declare war against the Holy Sildoran League. Well, do I have sight on their planet? Not yet. I'd like to see what their stability is before I decide if I'm declaring war on them. Although I think I do have a claim. No. The Great Human Empire has a claim on them. So let's go ahead and see what options we have with declaring war. We do have a vassalize option. Sold another Ichnerval. We'll be in the system and can have visibility shortly. They are now in a defensive pact with the Vetericians. That is unfortunate. I should have already declared war. Because now I would be at war with the Vetericians and the Adnorian. So I guess we can hold off on a war with the Holy Sidorians and just wait and see what else pops up. I do want to get in the system to get some visibility. Bags Holdings has entered into a commercial pact with the Great Human Empire. It's about time y'all started doing some treaties. And yeah, let's go ahead and check their colonies. Low stability. This one has decent stability because they do have humans here. But their capital has horrible stability right now. Not as bad as Glugenjal, but yeah, eventually they're going to have a rebellion, I believe. Now if we go over here, their new capital is Glagobder. Stability is pretty bad. We need to get our holdings back up. Let's start with the Ministry of Truth. Yeah, they're going to suffer more rebellions. They have 3 planets with horrible stability, it appears. And finally, we can check over here in the Huff system. They don't have the greatest stability, but they aren't rebelling just yet. It's a single planet over here. But they still haven't managed to get their population under control. I remember what the other thing I was supposed to do in January was. Share tech with my mercenary company. I guess that'll have to wait another 10 years. I have begun modifying the Besidon species. That should take about 5 months. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push most of these modifications. The next one I will do will be the Ubaric to get them all switched over.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We finished the Iskander's Pride system and are now en route 5 months until we get to the Camglaria system. We have completed the Science Nexus research. The research labs and data banks of a Science Nexus generate an immense flow of raw, undiluted science. Ah, the Quantum Catapult. I've been wanting that. Now this does take a chunk of influence to build. See, the focused arc emitters would take 3 years. Neutron launchers would take 2. Let's go ahead and get the Quantum Catapult started. It'll take 5 years. And now that we have access to the Science Nexus, I'm going to build one here in Finn-Habanis. It's going to take me 3 months to get over here. I can't build it over the asteroids. It's got to be over a building. I mean a planet. Yeah, this is just a molten world. It could be a refinery, but we'll build it there. Now that took 5,000 unity, 5,000 influence, and it will take 5 years to build once I get over there. Now that 5,000 unity will set us back about 2 months. So it'll go from being 56 to 57 next month. We have a new proposal. Minor research sanctions, re-proposed by the Soran. We'll support that. And we are getting much closer to edging out the Star Realms of Shar. And this is with only 2 envoys. He has 4 envoys. 3 envoys with that one, and 2 envoys with that one. So yeah, if we piled a few more envoys in here, we would definitely... Yeah, we've got about less than half their fleet strength. About half their pops. Our economy is only about 50% lower than theirs. And our technology is about half of theirs. Federician League subjugated the Holy Sildoran League. Now that we have a view on their empire, let's take a quick view at their planets. 89 stability. 85 stability. 93 stability. I think we will be going to war against the Federicians next. And we will probably end up just putting another claim back on this system. Or allowing the Great Human Empire to get the claim and get the system back. But would attempt to vassalize them. So we can pull Gorgon back out to Dawkin. Sold an Ignerval. Federician League are in a migration treaty with their new vassal, the Holy Sildoran League. We're about to cap on both minerals and energy credits. So let's buy a bunch more things. Let's buy some alloys. We're losing food, so let's buy some food. Go ahead and sell some minerals. And let's go ahead and buy more alloys. And we earn, in 6 months, we'll earn about 15,000 energy credits. That'll put us back up around 100k. Let's go ahead and buy 500 more dark matter. Oh, there are space amoebas in our territory here. Let's send Gorgon over here to deal with them. We can go ahead and decloak and head that way. We sold Ignerval slave.
New species variant available.
Adnorium Imperium declared the Adnoran League their rival. The Adnorians really don't like each other. We completed the Besidon species. We'll look at that in a sec. Right now I want to get over here where the Voyager is. It's 1 month away from Camgloria. I think I am close enough to be able to jump from here. No. I've got to get a little closer before I can jump past. So we'll go ahead and wait another bit. Now if we go to Molyneux, now that they have all been converted into indentured servants, they should bump up to fill up these jobs in a sec. Maybe it takes an entire month. Dar Forge has joined the galactic community. Where is the Dar Forge? We're still working on that Ministry of Truth. That does remind me, though, our soldiers, yeah, they're back in Vusabaru. They need to land on their capital. Now, where is the Dar Forge? A machine intelligence that popped up right here. It's a protectorate under the star realm of Shar, so it was obviously a primitive civilization that improved. Yeah, very low population, very low tech. Alright, we can jump over here now and then proceed from here to see what we can explore. We'll probably have to explore that system and then explore that system to be able to get to it.
Fleet action underway.
That was fast. We took 69 damage to our armor and obliterated all 3 space amoeba. Sold another Glear. Alright, the Voyager has made it. Let's explore that system, and then we need to head over here to see what's in that system. Actually, no, we could head to Adar. That's right. Well, we'll get sight on it before then. It'll take a few months. I redesigned a few more of the fleets and went ahead and planned them all out to 150 for the most part. And that reinforcement fleet I got from the Fortress Legionnaires, I have split up and I'm sending 10 as Gorgon reinforcements. They're in the process of upgrading. So the ones I have redesigned, of course, the Gorgon got the upgrades. That's the one I have been reinforcing right now. I have planned it out to 150. It's going to have 90 corvettes and 60 frigates. And so I took 10 of those corvettes that were given to me by Fortress Legionnaires, and I'm refitting them to add to this fleet before I finish reinforcing it. Other than that, I have begun upgrading Strike Force Scylla. I have redone the Moray. As neat as the design is of having them with the pulse armor, I don't have the resources to use so much pulse armor on so many of my craft, and since this is indeed a stealther, it's kind of wasted. Yeah, sure, they'll be visible for about 4 months. It would kind of need having an ambush type in my own territory. But I decided to go ahead and redesign it, and I gave it an interceptor stern instead, so that I could give it 2 small plasma cannons to assist with melting armor. As much fun as all Stormfires were, having 2 small Stormfires I do not think is effective against armor as the small plasma cannons. And that enabled me to give it regenerative hull tissue to boost its armor. But yeah, I have planned out Scylla to be basically 150 points worth of these Morays, and so I like to see how they perform. I did do a couple of other replannings of the designs I could modify. The Dragon and the Medusa are in the process of upgrades. I'm almost done with Medusa, and Dragon is now about 78% done, but I am going to end up redesigning them a little bit. The others I redesigned is I redesigned Pegasus. I ran into power issues with the upgraded torpedoes and autocannons, so I gave it more hull plating instead of more armor. And the Flying Stampede, ran into power issues with it a little bit as well. I decided to swap to using the Amoeba Flagella. These things do armor damage, and got rid of the lasers for Marauder missiles. So now the Flying Stampede is a little bit more anti-armor, where the others are all the autocannons. And for the Titan, I changed the aura on it to be the Nanobot Cloud, giving everybody regen, since not as many of them can field the armor as I would like. Because of power issues, they get a little bit of hull or armor instead, so I decided to give regen to the group. I think that's a better supplement. I also replanned the Hippogriffs. They are using a lot of minor artifacts. To compensate for power issues, I switched to the improved strike craft because they use less power than the driller drones. But I gave them the ancient suspension fields with the concept of completely impenetrable shields. You cannot bypass them. So with 7 of these, I have over 100% shield hardening, so they should not be able to bypass my shields. I gave myself a little bit more hull points with this, and more shield capacitors to boost my shields even more, but I needed reactor boosters to cover all the power. This thing has 0 armor. It is just impenetrable shields and hull. And for the battleship, the Hippogriff Roost, it also has completely impenetrable shields. I had to go with a shield hardener for it, and I swapped it as well to the improved strike craft. And it required reactor boosters. For the Titan, it had only needed 1 reactor booster. I gave it 2 shield capacitors because it has the 7 ancient suspension fields supplemented with 3 hyper shields for even more shield, and 2 in hull plating for extra hull. And I have improved fire rate as the aura for this one. Which brings us, and I went ahead and redesigned the Titan because it wasn't being, for the dragons, it wasn't being built or upgraded at the time. They now will have the regenerative hull tissue and the ancient pulse armor, of course. And for Chimera, I designed a Titan for it since I now can have an extra Titan whenever I get around to building them. And of course, it has the Perdition Beam for the dragon part. It has the Stormfire autocannons for the Pegasus part, and then I had kinetic batteries for the Hippogriff part. And it also has impenetrable shields and full ancient pulse armor. Its aura is boosting tracking for the entire fleet. But I am in the process of upgrading Scylla because it didn't require minor artifacts, and I will start reinforcing that fleet to boost my naval capacity further. Or my naval capacity usage further. And to strengthen my fleet power for purposes of diplomatic weight. As soon as Medusa and Dragon are done with their upgrades, I can redesign those ships and see what I can do to make it where I'm not using quite so many minor artifacts on the smaller vessels at least. Right now, I still need about 5,000 minor artifacts to reinforce all of these ships. But that's actually a little bit of a drop, considering that with the lower fleet capacity, 20 points less in every fleet, I needed about a little over 4,000 anyway. We sold another Ichner Vol. Bash Holdings is in a research agreement with the Great Human Empire. Dar Forge has closed their borders to us. Just as well, I don't truck with robots. Strike Force Gorgon is fully repaired again.
Ships refitted.
The Scylla reinforcement fleet is fully upgraded. As soon as Scylla is done upgrading, they can merge. And it appears we are at war. Model 16 Savants declared war on our ally, the Tender Zun. Okay, so the Tender Zun had a small rebellion over here. We can't really get over there to help, since the Miravandians have closed their borders to us. And they will be blocking any direction. I mean, I could jump there, but I am just going to let the Tender Zun handle their own rebellion over there. There's not really much I can do for them at this point. It's a machine uprising, and I think they have enough allies to be able to handle this. As a matter of fact, the Autocracy of Rakaron should be able to get through there to assist. After a few days of considering it, as much as I feel like having extra bonuses for the slots, the little bit of extra shield I eke out of having ancient pulse armor on a lot of my ships does enhance their protection. However, most of the opponents we are going to be facing are very heavy on autocannons, which tear down shields extremely fast because they have a high rate of fire. So anything smaller than a cruiser, I have remodified in the ship designer to be all armor. Most of these smaller ships, they're going to be hit a lot by autocannons, because autocannons are what counter, that have high tracking, and that is what counters evasion. So things with high tracking are what are going to be mainly hitting our corvettes and our frigates and our destroyers. Well, actually, the frigates and the destroyers have a significantly lower evasion, but still. Anything smaller than a cruiser are the ships that I generally need to replace frequently. Now, the cruisers and higher, I will still be putting the loadouts I want on them because they don't get replaced quite as often. And the investment in getting them what they need for their protection, I think, is more valuable. Plus, they get a lot more out of the medium slots than these smaller ships do out of the small slots. So I've retooled all of the others to be pretty much all armor. And they are going to be ships that generally get destroyed when they get hit. Especially with battleships with the very large slots and the X slots, those things will one-shot corvettes and destroyers and frigates. It's cruisers and higher that will oftentimes survive a shot from that. Like, this one has 1,800 hull points. If we look at our X-class weapons, yeah, a cruiser will survive a maximum strength hit from an arc emitter, and a maximum strength hit from a particle lance or a mega cannon will not take all of its hull. It'll have to go through the armor or the shields first. And the shields will help against particle lances. So cruisers and higher can have, if we look at this, a particle lance does half damage to shields. That means it'll do 300 to 750. Well, it's very unlikely anything smaller than a cruiser can get that much enough shields to survive a hit. Well, a destroyer might. Yeah, a destroyer might, but my armor is just up there because it's a full 6 slots. If I had split it like I normally did, it'd be 660. They might survive one shot from a particle lance before it goes into hull, but it's on the higher range of damage. It's highly unlikely. However, a cruiser could very likely survive one shot from a particle lance that doesn't get through shields. Even if it does get through shields, it won't completely get through the armor. And the same for the other weapons. A cruiser could actually survive a shot to the... Well, that's a cruiser with benefits. A cruiser could survive a max shot with an arc emitter straight off the bat. It would knock them down low in hull points, but they would be alive. And with regenerative hull tissue, they would start getting some of their hull back, and there's a good chance they would just disengage from the combat when they got hit that heavy in the hull directly. So they would end up likely not needing to be replaced. But because of that, I've gone ahead and redone that. So we're back to upgrading our ships. Now, my fleets, I did not appear to get a reimbursement of the minor artifacts for the upgrades that I am doing to like Medusa and stuff. It did not refund any minor artifacts for upgrading out the smaller ships that had already been upgraded. However, I did notice on some of the defense platforms I was getting anywhere from 5 to 9 minor artifacts back on the upgrades. So because I also redid all of the defense platforms. Basically, I have all these defense platforms with 30% shield hardening and back to the mix of shields and armor. It gives them equal shields and armor with tier 5 shields and tier 4 armor. When we get the next armor upgrade, they'll actually end up with more armor than shield. But the little bit of shield hardening will stop some of the disruptor damage from going straight to hull and allow it to be absorbed by the shields. With the exception of the ion cannon, which I just put full on armor with full regenerative hull tissue because it has a lot of hull points and now has a lot of armor, and the regeneration will help it last a little bit longer. This also makes it fairly easy to replace, since all it really costs is a lot of alloys, which we have a decent supply of. But we need to get our fleet power back up. We need to start churning out reinforcements and stuff again so that we stay up on top and eventually get to first place, so that I can go ahead and start working on becoming the custodian. We're about 120 years away from the start of the end game. After that, we've got another 100 years, and the game is technically over. So I need to continue making progress toward becoming the Galactic Emperor. And right now I'm in a little bit of a snarl with these, trying to refit their planets and all so that they will have decent stability when I cut them loose. And I'm most likely going to have rebellions here and here, but we'll proceed on forward.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We've completed autonomous mining drones. Fleets of autonomous drones equipped with mining beams are deployed to quickly and efficiently gather nearby materials. We can get started on the new training armor right now, or reactive armor to add armor hardening instead. Neutronium armor would take 3 years. Armor hardening I don't currently have on any ships, but that would be a new research available in about a year. We'll go ahead and knock out the armor hardening. I do not believe there is a follow-up to this, so that's one less option that will be showing up. We sold another Igner Ball. The Tendrazun star conglomerate is embroiled in civil war, pitting the organic Tendrazun government against the intelligence that metastasized in their systems, known as the Model 16 Savants. So they now have a machine uprising to deal with. We don't have intel on them to be able to look at their ships and see what they've got, but we can assume it's close to what the Tendrazun have. Which means they're heavy on the autocannons as usual. But we're going to let this play out. This is a civil war on their part. I want to see how effective the machine uprising is. Now, technically we are part of this war, as is the Fel Null and our allies. I am hoping more machine uprisings start striking around over here. Model 16 has joined the galactic community. Let's actually have a look at them. Yeah, they're just a machine intelligence.
New species variant available.
We have completed the modifications of the Ubaric species, so I can go check my planets that have the Ubaric and make sure that they are in the right positions. We made them good at mining and basically all resource gathering. So they should be the ones doing all the resource gathering here. There we go. Molyneux does have at least one Ubaric and 2 Uthabulans shift off. I'll worry about that in April.
Ships refitted.
Our Pegasus reinforcements have finally been fully upgraded with the new designs. Why is it showing them as... Oh, those are cruisers. That is why. Now, we do need to upgrade Pegasus before we merge them. But these are going to require a lot of minor artifacts to refit, so we'll hold off on that. Why do you have no orders at Larkin Singularity? You are supposed to be assisting cloaking detection. Cannot perform that operation while cloaked. Ah. I was not aware of that. Federation League is in a research agreement with the Soran combined clans. Hierarchy of Moffith is in a research agreement with the Soran. Autocracy of Rakaron is in a migration treaty with the Interstellar Picarian Coalition.
Ships refitted.
Federation League is in a commercial pact with the Soran. Strike Force Gorgon is now fully upgraded. Now it can begin reinforcing its frigates. And it looks like they will all be coming out here at Vuzabaru. Violent clashes between the armed gangs that run the criminal underworld on Ubaria have recently escalated. Street fighting has erupted in several urban centers, with the planetary authorities struggling to contain it. Collateral damage has been heavy. Now we actually have the crime down to 0 here. So this should be going away eventually, the criminal underworld decision or effect. We just have to kind of wait it out, I believe. There's no situation or anything we can do about it. The Holy Sildoran League has finally embraced the Non-Intervention Committee and become more xenophobic. Oddly enough, we do not have a vassalize term on them.
Ships refitted.
Strike Force Scylla has been fully upgraded. Now, I believe there are some Scylla reinforcements right here that have already also been upgraded. So we will have these two merge. And we will pump Scylla up to the full capacity and begin reinforcing them. 21,000 alloys. Shouldn't be a problem. It's going to take a while to reinforce anyway. Why are they coming out at Polagar when you are at Deneb? We just want your reinforcements coming out at Deneb. Looks like Deneb is currently busy. There we go. Yeah, Deneb is quite busy. There's 32 things in the queue. So we'll wait till Deneb is cleared before we start reinforcing this fleet. I mean, we could move Scylla to a different base. We could go to Polagar, for example, or we could actually send them to Mesum. Mesum does have... It would take them 6 months to get over here. Mesum does have unused shipyard. Only one, but it's still a shipyard. Actually, one shipyard? Nah, maybe not the best idea. Why did you get renamed Scylla Reinforcement instead of Strike Force Scylla? Let's see, Hippogriff is going to take a while to reinforce and refit because it is primarily ships that require those. So we'll head to Polagar. That'll take about 3 months. And we'll have them reinforce at Polagar. So I could actually have Scylla have some reinforcements churning out at Polagar Station. That should be, I think 6 should be enough. Well, let's just do 4. Yeah, let's just have another 4 queued up because these 4 would take almost 3 months. And then these will start working on, that'll take another 70 days. Soren Combined Clans broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. We sold a Gleer. It's been a while since I showed you my maintenance routine. We'll start with the worlds that I had hotkeyed that I was paying attention to. They were about to grow something. This one, I think it was the Furbanite I was paying attention to, so that I could shift it up to be an enforcer. And now I can clear. We also grew a Praku. I can use it to either replace a human or shift it to one of my other worlds that needs a Praku, since Praku can only grow, I think, on worlds that have Praku because of crystallization. So let's quickly go through here and see if there is a world that does not have a Praku. On the remaining ones past it. We have found one. Leffingwell does not have a Praku. So we will resettle that Praku from Flaxington here. And that Praku was currently a clerk. Became a metallurgist. Now I can remove the Flaxington hotkey. We can go to Doran, where I was growing another Furbanite that needs to be shifted up to be an enforcer. Apparently it wants to take the battle thralls because the Furbanites are moat harvesters. Let's try that again. There we go. Now we can remove that hotkey. I still need another Furbanite here, so I'm not going to change this just yet. Leffingwell apparently did not grow, despite me having it listed as something I was keeping an eye on. So I'll remove that because I'll end up adding it again. Proclaus just grew another Furbanite. Now we have a spare Glear here. And I still need one more Furbanite. Now that I've gotten the initial ones that I was watching for population growth, I can go through my actual empire and see if there were anything that needed to be constructed. This one has sufficient available jobs, mainly in the artisans and the clerks. I'm just allowing it to grow freely, and if it grows a population it does not need on this world, I will shift it off. Right now we are growing Furbanites. I do have 2 that need replacement. That was one of the recently conquered, this Furbanite was. I also watch to see if one will be growing in about 3 months. And if that's the case, I'll add it to the hotkeys down there. And since there's no real rush on churning out more Praku, I'm going to switch this to any species. Whatever it grows, if it doesn't need it here, I can shift it off-world. I am still going to be assembling Furbanites because I do still need 2 more. Alright, this one will be getting a Praku, so I will add it to the hotkeys down here to keep an eye on so that I can take this off of prioritized species. This one will be growing yet another Furbanite. This one will be growing its first Furbanite, it appears. No, it does have one down here. This one has a lot of Furbanite. It's got to grow to replace the Glear and the old oxen litters. So I don't need to hotkey this one. It will automatically replace one of the soldiers, more than likely. I'm just going to let it keep building Furbanites. Proclaus, I don't need to keep an eye on. I am going to keep it on forced humans because this is my research world primarily. As it grows humans, they will become researchers. I don't need to keep an eye on this. There's no further research complexes I can add, and I'm in the process of adding an extra administrative archaeology to add more bureaucrat jobs that will give it further room for growth for humans, because as I replace humans on other worlds with Praku, I can shift them here to start boosting both my research and my unity. In 3 months, I will have my ancient refinery built here on Rhea, which is going to be my refinery station. So I will have 3 jobs available to shift Praku or something else over to. I think for now I'm going to be using that new species I picked up, the one that I'm planning on using on Tomb Worlds. I'll shift them over here to be the refiners. I am shifting the industrial centers over to be mining districts here. I've got one last one to shift, basically. And it will be full mining centers here. So let's go ahead and upgrade the Autochthon monument so we can get more unity per month from this. Now shifting that industrial, we'll probably shift one of these Scythian over to be a metallurgist. Over here on Molyneux, I am making it a breadbasket, so I'm shifting the other resource development over to be... Actually, let's do the mining first. Over to be agriculture. I'm going to shift all the mining districts and possibly all the generator districts as well. Now the oxen litters we have over here are the original oxen litters, probably ones we sold a long time ago, these people bought. I think I am going to go ahead and do a project to shift all the oxen litters on Bid Taraka over to be the new type that are the chattel slaves that are good at energy. Yeah, they've only got the 7 left of the original species on Bid Taraka.
New sit rep.
That will only take 2 months. And I only ended up with 2 worlds that I need to keep an eye on for next maintenance cycle. I also need to go through my fleets that are reinforcing. Well, this one will be... Yeah, this one I'd already queued up, so it's not an issue. Gorgon will have all of its reinforcements are already on the way. I do have that other Strike Force Gorgon reinforcements. They are still in the process of upgrading before they can be sent over. And if I go to my shipyards and check their defenses, see what needs to be upgraded. Some of these, yeah, see, they'll be refunding. This one's still costing, oddly enough. A couple of these are still shifting over, and then they will refund when they shift back, but we'll end up losing a little bit. But yeah, these are all needing to be upgraded here. This one apparently needs minor artifacts to further upgrade, so we're going to have to wait on it. Same for this one. Pretty much until I'm done with the first station, there's going to be a shortage. Until I'm done with Deneb, there's going to be a shortage of minor artifacts, because some of these have to shift over into the minor artifact design to shift out of it for some strange reason. But that's the extent of my maintenance for the most part, is checking up on my colonies and anything I'm reinforcing. I also, on January only now, I check and see if I have surplus slaves that still need to be sold. Because I have so many currently on the market, I'm waiting for them to be removed, basically.
Ships refitted.
Save Station has finished its first set of refits. So has Shala, Polagar, and Marik. Now all of them are waiting for minor artifacts because they got to go through some intermediary stage for some reason. Federician are in a migration with the Soran. We sold another Ichner Vol. That's another thing I need to pay attention to on my maintenance cycle sometimes, is how close I am to cap to see if I need to sell or buy. Gorgon's reinforcements are done. So we will highlight Gorgon and Gorgon's reinforcements and tell them to merge. No. No, 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 no. Cancel that. Gorgon is the primary ship. Let's give Gorgon an order. Let's have it move to there and back to the station. Now we will grab Gorgon reinforcements and see what happens when I tell it to merge. No, it still wants to merge that one with it. I don't want that to be the order. I want Gorgon to merge this way. Strike Force Gorgon is the primary fleet, damn it. Stop that. Alright, I tell you what. Let's send Gorgon reinforcements down here. I do not understand why they consider the Gorgon reinforcements the primary fleet when this one has more. That's something that needs to be fixed, where you can assign which ship fleet merges with the other. Maybe if I do it this way, can I... That's Strike Force Gorgon. Alright, so let's take the Gorgon reinforcements. Can I just right-click on this fleet? Alright, they're now following Strike Force Gorgon. And it still wants this one to be the one to merge. No, I do not want that. I'll just transfer the ships when they get here and merge them myself, rather than taking that, because I don't want it to get rid of the Strike Force Gorgon fleet and make it now the Gorgon reinforcement fleet. I don't like that.
New species variant available.
We finished modifying those oxen litter on Bid Taraka. So now they should be getting a little bit of exotic gases, as well as better at being technicians. Glosperhenian have declared war on the Fel Null. Oh, that's interesting. That did not put us in the war, at least. It is an annexation attempt. The Fel Null are in a defensive pact with the Tendra Zun, so they got pulled into the war as well, despite the fact that they are busy with their own rebellion right now. Glosperhenian broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. Allied Multics broke their migration treaty with the Miravandian Coalition. Interstellar Picarian Coalition are in a migration treaty with the Miravandian Coalition.
Ships refitted.
Veteresian League has built a gateway. And Strike Force Chimera is fully upgraded. Now, is Chimera reinforcements upgraded yet? No, they are still in the process of upgrading. Now, it's telling me I will need minor artifacts for any further reinforcements. That's not entirely true. I could be churning out more wormlings or other small craft, but apparently the next one in line is one of the larger ships. The cruisers are higher that need it. We sold another Ichner Vol. We sold another Ichner Vol.
Ships refitted.
Strike Force Dragon has been fully upgraded. And we sold another Ichner Vol. Now that Dragon has been fully upgraded, we can start reinforcing Dragon. That's Medusa. Dragon is at Shaula. That's all the wormlings we can reinforce right now. We have no Titan assembly yards. I just realized I haven't put a Titan assembly yard anywhere. Let's look at Deneb Station. Yeah, we're going to need Titan assembly yards at a lot of these stations. I'm currently upgrading the hangars at places like this, or the defense platforms. It'll be a while before we can get out the Titans anyway. We'd probably have to give up the crew quarters or the mercenary garrison for Titan assembly yards. I think maybe Deneb is the only one that currently needs one. I can get rid of the comm jammer there. Actually, I could get rid of the comm jammers at all of these for the Titan assembly yards. And there are a few, like Shaula, that are not currently upgrading platforms. So yeah, let's go ahead and replace the comm jammers with the Titan assembly yards on Shaula, Poligar, and Marik. It'll be a while before we get around to upgrading their platforms. Those take 2 years to churn out.
Ships refitted.
Sold another slave. We refitted the Chimera reinforcements. Now, I want these reinforcements to go here. So I still need 4 more wormlings here. And the Chimera reinforcement fleet can now be removed. Gorgon reinforcements is still 3 months out. I'll do that in October. Moving it into Gorgon's fleet. Sold a Gleer. Oh crap, we're about to cap on energy credits. I forgot to look at that. Let's buy more alloys. And more rare crystals. That should hold me until at least
New species
October.
variant available.
I finished those 2 Uthabulin that were on Massam. Sold another
Inbound
Gleer.
message traffic.
And another Gleer. Tendra Zun would like a research agreement. I'm going to decline that. We have the one research agreement we really need right now, which is the Soran. They're boosting everything we're researching. Soran broke their non-aggression pact with interstellar Picarians. We got energy credits from the Fortress Legionnaires. That puts us back up to where we need to buy things again. Let's buy some more alloys. Just buy a chunk of alloys right now. We're going to need a lot of alloys for the Science Nexus once it comes online, but it's still got a few years. And we are reinforcing fleets again. Glear Slave sold. We're getting our slaves down a bit. Sold another Glear. And yet another one. Fel Null broke off the commercial pact with the Tender Sun. Let's see, do I risk it? Yeah, it worked out. I can now buy something this month. Another war declaration. Silicron Corps declared war against the hierarchy of Moffith. I think that's going to be another... Oh, you guys sound cool. Speak, Fleshling. You have the undivided attention of the Silicron Corps. This is another machine uprising. Looks like they got a few systems out of the hierarchy of Moffith. They don't have a tremendously large fleet. Well, they do. Yeah, they have about 50k in fleet strength. Or, I mean, the hierarchy of Moffit's fleet is right here. They have about 90k worth of fleet right there. They should be able to handle... Oh, wait. These guys have 100k in fleets. This is going to be a fairly evenly matched contest, then. This ought to be interesting. But if we look at the war, they do have the Kesem Confederacy, Adnorn League, and the Citizen Confederation of Gavazul on their side, unless they start experiencing their own machine rebellions. But yes, this is what I'm hoping, that the machine uprisings will start tearing apart a lot of these other empires and get them distracted and weakened. Right now, minor military sanctions will be the next one up. I could pull my support from the sanctions to make sure, like, building a better tomorrow is next, though that really won't help us as much as others. Regulated growth could be more useful to us, giving us more monthly loyalty change, but it also boosts our empire size from systems, which is a very small amount. That'd be 5 points. Well, no, it's less than that. I was looking at districts. 5% of 37 would be 1 or 2 points. Yeah, I've got 3 months before I need to make the decision. I'll try and remember to do it in December to pull my support from most of these so that regulated growth becomes the next one, to give us a little bit more loyalty. Hierarchy of Moffith is embroiled in civil war, pitting the organic government against the Silicron Corps. So that is 2 machine uprisings that we have had break out. Looks like it takes a few days after the actual rebellion for the pop-up about it being a machine uprising. Fel Null broke the research agreement with the Tender Sun. Hierarchy of Moffith broke the migration with the Adnoran League. And we're connected to the Silicron Corps.
New species variant available.
We modified the Vingrel Kesem. Let me go ahead and see if I can modify the MTOC. I have 1 of them. I moved them to my habitat.
New sitrep.
It'll take 2 months, but it's going to be worth it. Armor hardening. Incorporating a crystal lattice in our ship's defenses provides some resistance to weapons that normally cut through armor. We can work on the final mining station output. It'll take a year, and we will have that one done. Silicon Corps closed their borders, so we're going to lose connection to their capital through the hyper relay shortly. Probably as soon as the month flips over. Federation League will guarantee the independence of the Silicron core.
Ships refitted.
Deneb Station has been fully upgraded, even though it says it can upgrade again. These will be refunding. Getting this exemplary and these 2 disciplines. I think all the others... Yeah, this one has already been switched over. So yeah, none of these have upgrades available. It's not that they're waiting on me to acquire more minor artifacts. So let's go ahead and check Safe Station. That's the other one that was upgrading. I got 2 more platforms that can upgrade there that don't require anything. Tenderzun put a branch office on Rhea. This can't really have any holdings on it anytime soon. Alright, so we're 1 day away. Senate is in recess. Building a Better Tomorrow has made it all the way up. I would rather regulated growth be that, so I am going to abstain from these 2 to get regulated growth in there. Senate is now in session, so now I can put my support back on these 2. Comfort the Fallen and Charters Workers' Rights I'll probably need to veto during this session so that they don't, because they're starting to garner too much support. This will currently pass, and that will give us a little bit extra monthly loyalty.
New species variant available.
Alright, we got that last MTOC converted over. Looks like it went ahead and got rid of the one we no longer have. That was on Rhea. There we go. Got him up there working a job, and we're breeding more. I'm going to go ahead and do another species modification. The only ones we really have left to do is the Ichnerval and the rest of the oxen litters as we shift them around. Let's see if there's any to... Let's see how long it would take to do the Ichnerval.
New sit rep.
7 months. We'll hold off on that. We'll let that expire. I think that would be a lot better to do when we actually complete this retroviral manipulation. We'll have that in about 3 years at our current pace.
Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne lifeform.
I see a Yankee over this way. Strike Force Pegasus is currently idle. They're not upgrading. We'll go ahead and have them rush over here and deal with the Yankee. Sold an Ichnerval.
Ships refitted.
Sold a Glear. Deneb is now finally fully upgraded on its stations. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill out its defense platforms before I start on its Titan Yard, I think. What we need is 14 more points worth of defense platforms. These are 8, so that would leave me 6. Let's see, 4 and 2. We can get... Actually, we can do 3 and 3. We'll do 3 Rectitude Swarmers and 3 Distinction of the Kinetic Artillery, and then the Longbow. And after that, we will begin replacing this with the Titan Assembly Yards. Now, Safe is the other one working on upgrades. The others are all currently working on their Titan Assembly Yards. Our Ichnerval failed. We sold another Glear. Alright, they moved out of our space. They're actually in the hierarchy of Moffith, so we'll just return home. build 2 more Gleer.
Recon pass completed.
That was a fairly empty system. And I think that's about the last one we have over this way to explore. I mean, we have sight on quite a bit of space. This one still isn't explored, but we can't get into their territory. We could backtrack, I think, and get a, like this one over here. If we can get close enough to jump to it. Let's see, if we were to cloak. Let's see about jumping into the Adnoran League. And see if that decloaks us, or if we can get across here. Democratic Glarian Union is in a commercial pact with the Fel Null. It looks like that's the Latrepians came down to help out, which is fine by me. I could not get through there until this system was flipped. So I'll just let my allies come assist them. Looks like they got control of the Tendrazun Star Conglomerate, got control of Thespia again.
New sitrep.
So I'm going to modify a few more of the oxen litter over. It'll take 4 months. So it'll be done July 2nd, I believe. Because there's 1 month gone right there. Going to the 2nd of this month. Well, the inductors have pushed up in here.
Ships refitted.
I did start doing refits here and pushing back the Titan while I was doing it. It looks like we finally gotten everything upgraded on Safe Station. Now it's going to need 3 Rectitude, 3 Distinction, and an Ion Cannon, and we'll have it churn all of that out before it does the Titan Assembly Yard. Sold another Gleer. There's another war that broke out. Veteresian League have declared war on the hierarchy of Moffith. So we are getting closer to having an opportunity to, I think, vassalize them. We still don't have vassalization Casus Belli yet. Because they're considered equivalent, because they are superior in tech and economy. We sold a Gleer and are connected to the Tendrazun and the Model 16 again. One thing I forgot to check was what this war was. A war of beliefs. They're up against the Pan-Galactic Pack. They're fighting the entire Federation. So this is an ideological war. They're trying to convert this hierarchy of Moffith into a democracy, I believe. Kessim Confederacy broke the migration treaty with the Star Realms of Shar. We forgot to renew our contract with the Fortress Legionnaires. I could have sworn we did renew it 2 years ago. Now they're already back here. I'll just leave them there. But at least we got the Admiral back finally.
New species variant available.
No, I hadn't even checked on this guy after he jumped. See, I need to get over this way. I guess to about here. And then I should be able to, or actually I can just go straight to here to survey that system, possibly. And then I could jump there and eventually jump over here and then there and just hop around here surveying those sections. So we completed the oxylinder species that were on our energy-producing worlds that were not the new type. Now we only have 40 of the old battle thralls to replace. They're on 6 planets. Tender Zun is in a commercial pack with the Fel Null.
Ships refitted.
We sold 2 Glear. Got 1 more station upgraded on Poligar. This upgrade shouldn't take too long
Ships
either.
refitted.
I think all the others are going to require minor artifacts to continue, so we're going to have to wait a couple months. We're no longer connected with the hierarchy of Moffith, or are we now connected with it? I missed that. I wasn't paying attention. United Latrepian broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. Now that they've pushed up here, we could actually get in there and deal with some of these. That's a 26k fleet. I do still want to keep Gorgon around here, but Manticore, Fortress Legionnaires we're not really doing anything with right now. We'll go ahead and move in here and have them assist with retaking some systems here. It would take them 8 months to get over there.
Inbound message traffic.
Tender Zun want a migration treaty? No, thank you.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We have penal colonies. Through the development of special penal worlds, criminals can be rehabilitated through honest, hard labor. Some may be in need of permanent rehabilitation. Take us a year and a half to get another habitability bonus that should get us back up to 100% on every world. We also have nanite mineral probes. These special probes are equipped with swarms of nanites that identify previously unknown mineral concentrations and mark them for later extraction. Oh, finally getting an upgrade for our swarmers. It'll take over 2 years for that. We'll go ahead and do it.
Ships refitted.
Sold a Glear. Poligar has a few more it can upgrade now. Sold another Glear. Praku Interstellar Nation was given association status with the Allied Independent Systems, and the Citizens Alliance of Orkenfung declared Tender Zun their rival. Tender Zun declared Soran clans their rival.
Ships refitted.
And they returned the favor. Got a few more to upgrade here at Shaula Station.
Ships refitted.
We refitted some platforms here at Marik and sold another Ignar Vol. Veterisian League is in a migration treaty with the Fel Null. Mirvandian are in a migration with the Veterisian. Allied Multics
Ships
are in a
refitted.
migration with this nation of Synok Prime. We got some refitted here at Shaula Station. It is finally done with all of its refits. It needs 3 Rectitude, 3 Distinction, and a Longbow. So we just have Poligar and Marik left to upgrade. Nation of Selnok Prime is in a research agreement with the Allied Multics. Glostwarhenians and Miravandians are pushing up here. The Voyager has been forced to decloak. Looks like we don't currently have closed borders with them. So we should be good for now. Sold another Ichnerval. We have a new proposal. Change council size to 4. Brienne and Stellar Nation wants that. I do not. Sold another Ichnerval. And yet another one. Star Realm Mashar will guarantee the independence of the Vidurisian again. Vidurisian broke their migration treaty with the Citizen Confederation of Gavazul. And we sold another Ichnerval. I'm curious how many we have left. It's all Ichnerval that are left on the market. We still have quite a few. Silicron Core finally joined the galactic community. It looks like we have made it. The Fortress Legionnaires have finally re-arrived. Let's go for the Zanbor system. Their fleet is wounded. And is running.
Ships refitted.
Just about done with Marik Station, I think.
Ships refitted.
Polagar is about to upgrade its last one, I think.
Ships refitted.
Yes, Polagar is done with its upgrades. Now it needs 3 Rectitude, 3 Distinction, and 1 Longbow. Fel Null broke their migration with the Tender Sun. Alright, they've already left the system, going back to Taurus. Federician built a gateway. We sold an Ichnerval. And another one.
Engaging enemy station.
Fel Null broke off their commercial pact with the Tender Sun. Fortress Legionnaires have finally made contact with this outpost. It should fall fairly quickly. Yeah, that was it. We'll just enter orbit there. We didn't take any damage, I don't believe. Not even shield damage. Sold another Ichnerval. So now we have flipped this station. We cannot get down here to help them in Azak because these two are technically still considered Miravandian space and we do not have open borders. And I do not have jump drives on every ship in this fleet. Matter of fact, most of them still have just hyperdrive 3s. Sovereignty of Tuxcali is building a science nexus. Crash and burn, you Tuxans. We sold another Ichnerval.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
There's space amoeba in our ally. Other than that, I don't see any in the immediate vicinity. After you survey that system, I guess we'll go ahead and jump to there. We're no longer connected to the Tender Sun or the Model 16 Savants. Looks like the Miravandian Coalition pushed them out of Kaid. 231k fleet there. I mean, they have sufficient forces here. Our allies do to beat them, but we're not at war with them. So it's up to our allies to get over there and help them with Azax.
Ships refitted.
This might be the final upgrade.
Construction complete.
Hawksworth Station had finished another habitation module, I believe. So we'll be able to get yet another generator district down here. Not that we have a shortage of energy credits. Soran entered the migration treaty with the Kesem. If they successfully invade this planet, they'll destroy the next Nexus. Ignerval was sold.
New species variant available.
Yeah, we have finally finished all the upgrades for our existing platforms and have the last of our platforms for our important stations under construction. And I converted a few more oxen litter I'd shifted over to Doran. Sold a few more Ignerval. How many does that leave on the slave market? 4 or 3 of ours. Two left to sell.
System reconnaissance completed.
We got the goal system surveyed, so let's jump to there and survey that system. I think we only have one Ignerval left on the slave market. Sildor are very strong serviles. They might be pretty good as chattel slaves. Not that we really need the benefits at this time. Oddly enough, it won't let me research that. There we go. Why did it time out? I was trying to modify this final pop that got moved over to Doran.
New sitrep.
It says it's going to take 2 months. Soran built another gateway. A single massive warship has been discovered patrolling the Viriac system. No signs of life can be detected from the vessel, but it is emitting a very strong power signature and appears to be bristling with weapon systems. It does not respond to hails. Caution is advised. Look at the size of that thing. Alright, so we immediately want a cloak. Now let's see if we were fast enough.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
Why are we jumping back to this system? You're supposed to be surveying the system. One of our Ignerval was sold on the slave market. That would be our last Ignerval, I believe. Yes, we currently have no slaves up for sale. In April, I guess I can go through and see if I have any more that need selling. I can't stop that Glossverhenian fleet from attacking this starbase. Soran built yet another gateway. That's 2 gateways they completed in a matter of a month. Felnal broke their migration.
New species variant available.
With the Citizen Alliance of Orkenfung, we modified that one oxen litter. Soran built yet another gateway in a month's time. They must have had a lot of gateways under construction around the same time. United Latrepians broke their research agreement with the Autocracy of Rakaron. Looks like the Fortress Legionnaires have come up with another reinforcement finally. Go ahead and pull back here and engage the Cogent. We successfully stole some research from the United Nations of Earth. Improved Titan hulls 30%. Not ready to sacrifice that asset just yet.
Science Division report success.
We have foreign soil enrichment. Extensive study in the different soil types and their ability to support crops will help improve the living conditions of our settlers on foreign worlds. And I also realized I need 15% more habitability right now to have 100% on habitats. Let's go ahead and get doctrine support vessels. Boost our naval capacity a little bit more. We're slowly building up to it again. That'll take a little over a year.
Fleet action underway.
No debris. We lost one frigate. Did a number on their fleet. Their fleet was already damaged though. What did they have? Autocannons and plasma throwers. Antimatter missiles. And disruptors. Well, we should be able to repair here since we are currently allies in a war. They have lost 44 ships. Our allies have lost 139. This does not bode well. Machine uprising war goal is minus 1,000. It's real hard to get. You pretty much have to obliterate them to get them to stop. There's no achieve war goal. Glosswarhenian are in a migration treaty with the Miravandian coalition. Oh, I see a fleet back up over here. They got more of their machine uprising fleet back. Looks like they're at full health. They just generated a full-size fleet. Or it jumped over here one. There should be sufficient forces here to deal with it. Mainly from the United Latrepian domains. We established an embassy with the Genlot Conclave. We've finally gotten them positive. I have also moved the envoy from there back to the galactic community. The Silicron core has been destroyed by its enemies. That was the machine uprising over here. We gave them 500 exotic gases for a pledge of loyalty. We need somebody to flip this system. Or actually, they just need to capture this system, I think. We can pick up retroviral manipulation. Use of retroviral agents allows us to easily tailor the genetic makeup of our population. It'll be about 6 years before we get our next one. And in January I can finally see about shifting out the Ichnerval that remain. We have just sold 3 of the 4 we have on the slave market. We have 1 remaining to sell. And Fortress Legionnaires has been repaired. And it has been another 5 years. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.